But in terms of yardage, Xavier Jones, 232 carries, doesn't have as good of a yards per carry, but he's got 1,249 rushing yards and 21 touchdowns. 21 rushing touchdowns.
I mean, the thing is, when you have those numbers in the passing game, like, it's super difficult to sit there and knock their rushing numbers, considering if you're going to put up those type of numbers, then, rushing, it's got to lack somewhere. And clearly it lacked a little bit in rushing. But again, this is why you said it's a shootout, because both of these teams can score at will from any different way.
Yeah. If you put them on the 1 yard line every drive, I'm sure you get at least 2 99-yard touchdowns. But they both have 1,000-yard receivers, which is cool. With those numbers, I feel like you kind of have to. But SMU, 3-point favorite. Are we also not going to complain about how fucking Florida Atlantic has been in 3 of the 4 Boca Raton Bowls when they fucking play in the stadium the bowl game is going to be played in?
Yeah, it doesn't seem quite fair.
Right? I have a couple of other bones to pick with some games, and obviously we'll get to them. But SMU, 3-point favorite over the home team, FAU. Although it's a quote-unquote neutral site game. Bullshit.
Yeah, okay. When your team plays in there, it's no longer a neutral site.
Right. That's like how I think it's bullshit when like Texas and who was it? Who did they play? I think it was Cincinnati. Play a quote-unquote neutral site game at AT&T Stadium. Come on. That's not neutral site. That's an hour drive from Austin and a fucking 9-hour flight.
Yeah.
From Cincinnati.
Not exactly the same.
Yeah. Maybe it's not a 9-hour flight. I don't know how long the flight is. But
Either
they
way,
have to fly there.
Flight. It requires going to the airport. It requires getting onto a plane. It requires getting off a plane. God forbid you lose your bag.
And it's not like one of those situations... Yeah, I don't know what that was. But it's not like one of those situations like how you can get from Vegas to LA and it's only like a 15-minute difference between car and flight.
Yeah.
This is a huge difference. Anyways.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Anyways. Let's move on because I'm sick of talking FAU. Let's go to the Camellia Bowl. Camellia. What was this before? Raycom Media Camellia Bowl is what this used to be.
Oh, that's a mouthful.
Yeah. Yep. This game is going to be between Florida International and Arkansas State. This one you can see. This one you can see at 5:30 p.m. on ESPN.
Can't imagine why.
On December 21st.
Because who gives a shit?
Right?
I'm stuck in rush hour traffic. Fuck this game.
I'm sorry, 5:30 p.m. in what day?
December 21st.
Oh, good.
So
yeah, because people definitely won't be out doing other things like shopping.
Yeah.
Christmas Eve is what, Tuesday? So
yeah. Jesus Christ. Florida International, Arkansas State. We got 6 and 5.
This game might as well be called the Dads at the Bar during Christmas Shopping Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, it's a Saturday, so yeah.
Yeah.
Can't be rush hour.
It's
Christmas rush hour.
Watch the game at the bar and shop on your phone.
Yeah, well, that makes way more sense.
Oh, man. Looks
So
like Leo Rush just lost his championship. No longer the Cruiserweight champ.
Oh, how sad.
Anyways, FIU 6 and 6. Arkansas State 7 and 5. Again,
flip a coin.
Similar-ish in terms of quarterback play. For FIU, Morgan 2,248 passing yards. For Hatcher from Arkansas State, 2,553. 2,553. But Arkansas State, 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2,553. 2, relies a little bit more on the pass game than they do the rush game. And I feel if FIU is a little bit more balanced, and maybe if they were less balanced, they'd be better than 6-6.
They just might.
But the difference here is Morgan, 13 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Not bad. It's a good ratio. I'd like to see more touchdowns. And Hatcher, 23 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. So the better ratio goes to Morgan. Then we switch over to the rushing game, and the leading rusher for FIU is Anthony Jones. I almost said Aaron Jones. That's not right.
No.
If so, there's something fishy going on. But Anthony Jones has 802 rushing yards, 9 touchdowns on 166 carries. Murray for Arkansas State, their leading rusher, Marcel Murray, nice first name. I like the name Marcel. But he's got 153 carries, 782 yards, 6 touchdowns. So these are very similar teams.
Sounds like it, at least on paper.
Yeah. And the Arkansas State, apparently is what I'm calling them. 3-point favorites in this game over the Panthers. The Red Wolves over the Panthers.
I don't have a lot of faith in Arkansas State. I'm just going to say that.
All right. The
I
fucking Camellia Bowl.
Arkansas State could take it. Bayless is a great receiver. And
I don't want to hear anything about Skip Bayless being great at anything.
Not Skip. Omar Bayless. He's going to be making his case to rise up into the first round.
I mean,
this game. So
he's got more than half of their receiving yards.
Yeah.
So
I think he's a second rounder. But if he, you never know. The bowl games certainly have a lot more people watching than some of their regular games.
So wait. I'm sure the same number of people are going to be watching this game at 5:30 on Saturday as there are normally. Because you go, listen, it's sandwiched between SMU, FAU, which is going to be a fucking shootout, fun game to watch. And then you've got maybe 15 minutes after that game before Boise State, Washington starts. No one's watching.
That's so annoying. These games should not be overlapping. The bowl games should not overlap.
Especially when you get down to 1 on some days.
Yeah, and who's the asshole putting a game on a Sunday?
I'd rather watch college football on a Sunday than NFL at this point.
Yeah. I guess that's true, but our teams suck.
Listen, say what you want about the NFC East and the teams not being good.
Okay.
It's by far the most competitive division in the NFL.
Not by choice.
It's a fucking race to the bottom over there.
It's entirely a race to the bottom. It's disgusting. Seriously, do you know what's going on in the NFC East? The Cowboys are like, we don't want to win it. Here you go, Philadelphia. And the Eagles are like, we're going to lose to the Dolphins, so...
The Eagles are like, you know what? We're good.
And yeah, the Eagles, I was so convinced that the Giants were going to beat the Eagles all week. I was talking with some of my buddies from work and whatnot, and the ones that happened to be Eagles fans, after the Eagles won the game, most of them were humble. One person was like, yeah, the Eagles beat the Giants, and was talking shit. I was like, you do realize that it took the Eagles overtime at home to beat a 2-win team quarterbacked by a 38-year-old who can't fucking move. You should feel real good about that win.
Who also have lost the last
the Giants
8 games
were ready to win it, and then at halftime they're like, Eli, if you fucking win this game, we don't get the first pick. So
well, they're not getting the first pick anyways. That is locked up. The Bengals are getting the first pick.
Or second pick, rather. Second pick. Yeah, you're right.
No, you know what happened, right? Someone on the Giants organization is like, you know what? I think I hate the Cowboys more than I hate the Eagles. Fuck the Cowboys. Lose the game. That's what they did. Anyways.
Not out of the realm of possibility.
Anyways, let's move on to the next bowl game. We are at Boise State, Washington. Finally, the first game. I don't want to say good because I think SMU FAU is going to be good.
Yeah, I think Boise State's going to run all over Washington.
But this is going to be the first meaningful game.
I actually have a lot of faith in Boise State as well.
Washington is a 3.5-point favorite, which this just blows my mind. We all know the Pac-12 fucking sucks, right? That's why they haven't gotten a playoff team in 4 years. All right?
Fair.
They don't play defense.
It's top heavy.
They don't play defense. They hardly play offense. And the 7-5 Washington is better, or is favored, is the word I was looking for, over the 12-1 Boise State. When I should know this, but Idaho is closer to Las Vegas than Washington is, right? Boise's closer to Las Vegas than Seattle.
Maybe?
I believe.
I'm not sure about that.
I'm going to look that up because I think they are. So I'm going to look at a map of the capitals.
But, yeah, you're saying this is meaningful? Is that because of Boise State never winning 13 games?
No, it's the first ranked opponent. Or the first ranked team in a bowl game. This is where we...
Ranked?
What?
Washington's still ranked?
No. Boise State is the first. Yeah, so Boise, Idaho is way closer to Las Vegas than Seattle, Washington.
Is it?
Yeah,
I guess that makes
there's
sense.
there's a map.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's way closer. So this would be more of a home game for Boise State than it would for Washington. Yet Washington has 5 less wins and still a 3.5-point favorite.
I don't get it. I think Boise's gonna have their way with Washington.
I think it'll probably be close early.
Step down too.
What was that?
What is he about to?
Chris Peterson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is his final game, I guess.
This is his final game as the head coach of the Washington Huskies. I think so I've been hearing some rumors about Cowboys and their coaches, and the 3 big rumors that I've been hearing are if they fire Jason Garrett or don't renew his contract or whatever, head coach Urban Meyer, offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley.
Good luck.
The second one that I've heard is Mike McCarthy, head coach, offensive coordinator Lincoln Riley. The third is Chris Peterson, head coach, Kellen Moore, offensive coordinator. Because Chris Peterson's already an offensive-minded head coach. There's no reason to get such a strong offensive coordinator when you've got a strong offensive head coach. So, personally, I want to see Lincoln Riley as the offensive coordinator. But that's it's not up to me to decide. Those are just 3 of the rumors that I've heard. I've also heard that they're just going to fire Jason Garrett and promote Kellen Moore to head coach, which I don't even want to talk about that. Anyways, yeah. So Boise State, have had a succession of very successful quarterbacks coming out of Boise State. You go back to Jared Zabransky, Kellen Moore, Brett Rippon, and now they're Hank Bachmeier. He's a freshman. I get it. He's a freshman. 1,760 passing yards, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Did they have a quarterback change mid-season?
Who?
Boise State. Because I find it hard to believe that you can get to 12-1 with your quarterback only passing for 9 touchdowns.
They might have. I don't think so, though.
I'm going to look and see early
Not
on.
that I recall, anyway.